Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls of all ages, welcome to the greatest show on earth. Well, at least it's a show on earth. Welcome back to the 42 podcast. And as always, to my left, your good friend and mine, Mr. Ryan. How you doing today, buddy?
We're not even on Earth, Jacob. We're at the restaurant at the end of the universe.
It's true. It's true.
We're not even on Earth.
Up. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't always be perfect.
We're neither the greatest show on Earth nor a show on Earth. So, but anyway, I'm doing okay. How are you, Jacob?
I can't complain too much. Nice Sunday evening in Western Pennsylvania.
Is there such a thing?
Well, the sun is actually out, so that's a bonus.
Well, I thought we'd get the show off to happy news.
All right.
They're going to make a Wreck-It Ralph 2. So good or bad? You're tired of sequels, aren't you?
I just don't...
Why don't you like going back and hanging out with your best friends?
No, it's just...
It's an opportunity to go back
my
to that
first mind the first place my mind goes to is, what's it like? How are you going to... It was such a single story. It just... I don't know. It just... I've really got to see what it's going to be about. But I love the idea, because I love the first Wreck-It Ralph.
Oh, yeah.
Love that movie.
How good is that movie? I mean, if you haven't seen it yet, spoiler alert, right? Skip the next 45 seconds. But when he's doing the whole fist dive towards the end and he's giving the speech about being a bad guy, oh man, I cried.
No, when he's wrecking the car, that's what I was like, oh my god, oh god, oh god.
That part was intense.
It was intense.
Yeah, it's a good movie. Really good.
It's a great movie. But yeah, so we'll see what happens. I mean, granted, when they first announced episode 7, I was like, man, maybe. Now I'm like, yes, give it to me now. All over
How to
my
Train Your
face.
Dragon 2 was good.
It was good. I didn't like that movie as much as a lot of other people did. It's a good movie. Don't get me wrong.
It's okay. Yeah, it's a good movie.
But it's not, it's not as good as like my wife thing. She likes it a whole lot more than I do, is what I should say.
Right. So anything else interesting happened this week for you, man?
Not really.
This is going to be an awesome podcast this week.
Hey, we have topics. Yes, sort of. It's just been good. I mowed the lawn today, which sucked, but hey. This is the first time that I can remember where it has not rained 2 days in a row.
Wait.
Like, it's the first time that I can remember in the last, 6 months that it has not rained 2 days in a row.
Not every, you haven't gone 2 days of sunshine, then it rain, is what you're saying. But you're saying, it should rain, today and tomorrow.
Today, miss a day, the next day it'll rain, the next day, it's been so wet here, man. It's crazy balls.
It just rains all the time?
All the time.
It must be lush and beautiful there, then.
Oh, it's super green, but I have to mow my yard every 4 days.
Every 4 days, and it's wet when I mow it.
It's terrible, dude. The mower died on me 15 times, literally 15 times, because it got so much shit up underneath, in the undercarriage. I would flip it over and scrape it out. And,
right. Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's terrible. Gotta
get the pressure washer out.
Yeah. If I had one.
Right. Mm-mm.
That's one of those. That's one of those purchases you never think to make, but having a pressure washer would just come in handy so often.
Once a week, washing your car.
Once you're washing your car, washing your house.
Sidewalks and everything.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's weird being an old man. As a kid, I was like, who would ever care about a pressure washer? Why is this even a thing at Sears? Where are the toys? We could have more toys right here. There's important things they could be selling. But now that I'm an old man, I'm like, I like having options on pressure washers. Look at 3 or 4 different. I get it. I go through Home Depot and I'm like, oh, I know what they're talking about back in home improvement. It's I'm an old man and power tools are kind of
they are kind of cool.
I want some of that and that. It's weird being older.
Oh yeah, that tool that you can screw 270 degrees. I totally get why that would be a thing now.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
There's a use for that. Yeah. It's weird. It is weird.
It is weird,
And
yes.
it's also being weird watching commercials that like pertain to me, like on TV. For the longest, my whole life, essentially, commercials weren't for me. Now that I'm 30, they're pretty much
For you.
directly for me. And I'm watching, I'm like, hey, that's me. Oh, that okay.
Ugh.
They're just trying to sell shit to me. That's right. Just pay attention. They're just trying to sell shit to you, Brian. And it's like, I kind of maybe need that pill. Like they're mentioning a pill that would kind of solve some of my problems. I'm like, oh no, I have those problems. It's like, when did I start having those problems to begin with?
Ugh.
Much less being like, huh, I could take a pill for it. Yeah, I get, weird, weird. Yeah, who wants to be a grown up? Fuck that, kids. Stay young.
All right, so before you become a downer, what's your recommend for us this week, Ryan?
What? Why would you recommend? Why would you say that I was just going to be a downer?
Because your recommends always become downers at the end of the podcast. So for it's going to be a downer, we can down now and then rebound for the rest of the show.
I was actually just gonna. Is it okay to recommend other podcasts?
Oh yeah, absolutely. We
Right,
don't
right,
care.
right. Okay. There's one called Snap Judgment,
Yeah.
put on by
Okay.
NPR. Just really good, like high level podcasting. If you're listening to us and you don't know about that, you might really enjoy that because it's a level of podcasting that we don't provide. It's just, highly edited. When the different people go to the different places and do the interviews, they'll have like their microphone out the whole time. So they kind of have the sound of like them getting out of the car or walking through the door or sitting down at the desk, and them kind of clearing their throat, and they get a little of the before and after the interview conversations, and they kind of play some of that, so it makes it a lot more personable. It really makes it kind of feel like you're there talking to these people and becoming part of these stories. And it's just, good stories. I was listening to it, I guess it was yesterday, Saturday. I was driving to the Woodlands and that was on, and I was like, oh, this is really good. I should recommend it. So here I
Nice,
am.
nice. I have a recommend for everybody.
You're an
And
asshole, though.
if you don't,
Throw that out there.
if you don't know, if you haven't already watched it, go watch Ghostbusters. So yesterday, so like me and the missus, we own a hookah, for hoser. It's pretty nice. And last
Humble brag.
week, last
Humble
week,
brag.
last week, and we decided like, hey, we haven't smoked in a long time, so we should. But we couldn't find
That's
anywhere
always
to.
good logic for smoking.
It's
Like,
been
hey,
like a year. But we couldn't find a place to buy any shisha. So we had to order it online, and so it gets here. And so Saturday afternoon, we fire up the hookah, we pull out the beer, and we watch Ghostbusters. That movie is fantastic. And it kind of makes me worried about the remake because that was such a perfect movie in the perfect place and time. Kind of like Back to the Future. You could not remake Back to the Future, even if you use the exact same script. It was just that perfect place and the perfect time, and it's just a fantastic movie, and you should definitely watch it if you haven't watched it. Or if you haven't watched it in a long time, it's such a great film.
Which one? Back to the Future or...
Both, they're both fantastic films. But Ghostbusters, go watch Ghostbusters again. It's
Did
awesome.
you hear about them talking about rebooting Back to the Future?
And the guy who has the rights
And
says
Robert
over
Zemeckis
my
like lost
literally
his
over my
mind.
dead
He
body.
was like, "Yeah, fuck you. Yeah, that's funny. You're funny. You're funny. All y'all are funny." Yeah, no, he's got money enough that he can say that too. Like, who cares?
Well, and like I said, it's one of those movies that you would have a hard
Shouldn't be remade.
shouldn't be remade, right? And you would have a hard time divorcing it from the setting, the '80s aesthetic, going into the future, having this futuristic stuff, then going in the future, which is like 2 years from now or this year, I
This
think.
year.
So, but there's all that stuff, and just like, it's just it was perfect for the time, and the time makes it what it is. I think that's what a lot of people miss about a lot of movies is the setting. How it was originally digested makes the movie what it is.
Right.
I don't like Star
Did
Wars
you
is not what it is if it's released 3 years later. It just isn't because the climate was different. And so
Right.
was released at the right time, and it got ate up and became a phenomenon. And now, 30 years later, we're getting another one.
Did you see the images of the new Ghostbuster cast?
Mm-hmm.
Like no, they took pictures of them.
No, no, I've seen it. Yeah.
Wait, where is it? This is not what I thought it was. Huh, maybe the image I saw was something wrong. Oh no, this is all photoshopped. Why is Google giving me all these photoshopped goofy pictures?
I have no
The one
idea.
that I want to see is the one that was just released. Did you find it? Or are you
I've
not even?
seen it. I've seen it. Yeah, because it was
Yeah,
released
anyway, it
around Comic
based
Con.
off of just one picture. It might be pretty good.
It might be. It's just why, why remake it? And I've said this before on a previous podcast. I don't care that they went all female over all male. I don't care. But Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, Sigourney Weaver. It was just perfect. It was perfect
It's
at
like
the time.
right, why why
Why?
would
Why
you
touch
remake
it?
why remake The Godfather?
Why exactly? And
Like why would you do it?
I can almost guarantee you that will happen soon. Almost
Mm.
guarantee it.
No, no, no. That's not allowed. That's not okay.
I mean, because if you think about it, almost everything that Hollywood puts out is not original anymore. It's sequels, it's prequels, it's reboots, it's you know, I don't know. It's just movies. Some of the new movies I love, like the Marvel stuff, is great. I love it, but part of me is just like, I just give me a new story. That's all I want. Give me a story I haven't heard before, or give me a new twist on an old story or something. Just do
Hmm.
something like they're remaking The Magnificent Seven, they're remaking Ghostbusters, they're remaking all these classic films, and just leave them alone. Just leave them alone.
Tarantino's making a new movie for you.
Hateful Eight, yeah.
I'm kind of excited about that. That looks pretty badass. He did a pretty good job with the last Western he did. Though I found that I couldn't actually finish the Django. Or the Django. I couldn't actually finish it.
All right, how was that?
It was just too much feels.
The way I felt about Django was he made the same movie basically twice in a row and just changed things around a little bit.
What was the other one?
Because they're both, okay, Inglorious and Django are both revenge flicks, right?
Mm,
And you know what? He crushed Inglorious.
that is true.
Great movie. One of maybe my favorite Tarantino movie.
That's a strong endorsement. He did
Well,
make Pulp Fiction.
okay, but like we've already established, I can have a favorite movie and still think another movie is better.
Okay,
I really
fair,
love Pulp Fiction, and Pulp Fiction
fair.
may be the better movie. I just really liked. I loved Inglourious. It was one of those movies that was like 2 hours and 40 minutes that felt like it was an hour and a half. It just flew by. It was
That's true.
fantastic. It was a
And it's
great,
beautiful.
oh, a gorgeous movie.
It's one
I
of
love
those
it.
where he actually gets the cinematography like right also.
We actually had the
Because a
budget
lot
to
of his
do
movies
it.
are good, but the cinematography sometimes he doesn't like paint the most beautiful pictures on each scene. Where I felt like Inglorious Bastard, like some of the scenes when she's playing the piano and some of the different scenes, like there's some of those are just like, oh, it's a like you could just stop it and take a picture. It's like that's a cool picture, you know.
Oh, absolutely, yes, fantastic movie.
Who else does that? Wes Borland or whatever his name is.
Oh, just beautiful
Yeah,
movies.
like each scene is almost like a painting. You could just take them as stills and put them in posters.
Taking away the newest Superman movie, Zack Snyder is one that comes to mind for me.
Yeah, which ones did he do?
He did Watchmen. He did Sucker Punch. Both are just gorgeous, highly stylized. Um, you should just make a note. Watch Sucker Punch this weekend. Just do it. Just right now. Like right now, because you will dig that movie all the
Sucker
way.
Punch.
Yes, Sucker Punch.
Oh, okay. Keep going. Sorry, you just reminded me of something.
Let's see. Who else just?
Those old Steve McQueen movies.
Oh yeah.
Some of those were gorgeous, right? Like you could take almost any scene out of Bullet, and it's almost a beautiful shot, right?
I mean, it's kind of cliche, but like Spielberg, right? I mean, think about his movies; they're gorgeous. Just Raiders of the Lost Ark, not Raiders. Temple. God damn it, the other one. Last Crusade, Jurassic Park, just gorgeous films.
Right, but not quite like the guy who made the Grand Budapest Hotel. Like not quite on that level, and also not quite on like that spaghetti western level either.
Oh, so
Like
you
there were some
want?
of those where you have those panoramic like sunsets and the horses walking, and it's like a minute and a half silhouette shot.
Well, yeah,
Some of
that's
those,
because they actually did it on location instead of on the
yeah,
green
right,
screen.
right, right. There's something about that.
That's what like I talk about, especially with the Indiana Jones movies that are on Blu-ray. They're gorgeous because almost all of them were shot on location or on real sets.
Right.
No green screen.
It's me. Don't worry.
Yeah, yeah.
But oh, we talked about Chris Pratt being the new Indiana Jones.
Yes, that he should be.
That he should be. Oh, okay. Just anyway, just keep putting that out in the universe. Like, just keep putting those vibes.
He's
That's
already
just
going to be in the
something that happened.
Magnificent Seven.
I don't give a fuck. Like, we should make him. He
Okay,
needs to be Indiana Jones.
so
He should have been the new Han.
I was about to do my next question. Should he be? Because we I sent you a
They're
link.
gonna make a young Han.
They're going to make a young Han.
Perfect, perfect Han. He is a yeah. I no
Well,
no.
it's,
You're shrugging.
I don't-
You're thinking.
I don't. Yeah,
You're thinking hard.
I'm thinking hard. I'm thinking. I don't know who else would be better, but part of me just leave it
Too
alone.
much Chris Pratt.
No, not even too much Chris Pratt because I love Chris Pratt. You give
Okay.
me Chris Pratt in every other movie, I'd probably be okay with it.
Right.
But it's just, how do you be Han? Because there is a very definite young Han, right? I mean, he was not that old in A New
That's
Hope.
right. You just go back to being episode 4 Han.
And how do you make someone be that while so also being their own creation? Or do you just find someone who's really good at mimicking and say, hey, go be Han? You're Han. You are a puppet for the personality that used to be Harrison Ford. That's
What
my
would I
issue.
want?
Yeah.
What would I want?
Or just
Yeah,
what
that's
do
how you would do it. You would have them. Can you play? Can you play as much like Han as you could? They would not still be themselves a little bit.
right, but
And I think if you had Chris Pratt do that, he would do it perfectly. Would he not?
I think he would do it well.
Yeah.
But he is so much of a thing now. He is Chris Pratt. I mean, he is.
Oh, I see.
He is. So I don't. Because that's
I
the
don't
problem
know.
with going back to Star Wars things, especially dealing with the main cast. Because we know them from a very young age. I mean, Luke in the first episode is like 20 years old, if that, right?
Yeah, no, I think he's 18.
Yeah, he's a
Isn't that part of the movie?
young kid. I don't know if they ever give an exact age, but he's supposed to be rather young.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And so it's really hard to go back and recast those people because they have definite personalities, definite traits, definite everything. You know, if you want to go make like, Biggs, Luke's friend, Biggs,
Yes.
you could do that easy, right? Because he just came
Right.
in and out,
We make an X-wing Rogue Squadron.
right? Or a Yellow Squad, or a Wedge Antilles movie. That's easy, right? Because
Right. We don't know him yet.
well, even
And what we
really-
do little know about him, we can kind of let somebody run with and make a character out of it.
right, because what
It's
do you
not a
know about Wedge
super-
besides
right.
that he's a good fighter pilot? Nothing.
That's all you need to know, man.
Right,
Tom Cruise can
and
play
so,
that guy.
so anyone can do that. You can make him anyone. He could be a depressive, extrovert, a drunk. Who knows? You can do whatever you want with him. But Luke and Leia and Han are so defined.
Right. You kind of want to leave them alone.
You just leave them alone.
Okay.
You know, so I love the idea of it in some respects, but in other respects, I'm just like, are you really gonna force feed me a new paradigm?
Han Solo. You know what? I'm really okay with exploring that universe anyway. Like, there's so much in the Star Wars. I just love the Star Wars universe. Like, why can't we have? Give me a story about like a Sith Lord.
Right? Or
Give me a story like from ancient times. Give me a story from before the Republic. Like, make shit up, or give me fun little stories about small minor characters.
or even
Or battles on the other side of the galaxy. It was a galaxy size Republic, or I mean,
Yeah.
Empire. So I mean, there's plenty of room and shit for other shit to be happening.
Do you remember the old game Dark Forces, where you're the bounty hunter and it's in the Star Wars universe, but uh, you're not like in.
On 64
No, no, no. It was
PC.
PC. Jedi Knight
No,
was Dark
didn't play
Forces
it.
2.
Didn't play it.
Okay, well that I would love to see something like that. Put us in the universe, but don't make him a Jedi or her a Jedi for that matter.
Make him a
s-
bounty hunter.
Make him a bounty hunter. Make him a traitor. Make him something interesting.
Who's quick on the draw.
Yeah,
Wears a hat.
or something. It doesn't really matter. It's just
You know, a story like that would be fun.
it would be fun.
It'd be an interesting story. I would
Bum,
read it.
bum, bum. Coming soon from 42 Entertainment. Should we announce it? Like, is
No, no,
Okay.
this is way more fun.
Okay,
Don't even. You're giving too much away now. Shh, shh.
but I would love, like, even when I was 13 and still actually thought Episode 1 was a decent movie. You know, however old
I
we
went back and watched it the other. It's way worse than you think. Have you watched it now that you're an adult?
haven't
Like,
watched in a couple of years.
watch it now. Watch it now. Put that on your list of. Oh my god, that movie's dog shit, dude. That movie's
But-
horrible.
But even then, I was pissed that R2D2 and C3PO were still in there. I'm like, this is a huge universe. How the fuck are these
small.
droids managing
Yeah.
to be in everything? They are
And at
everywhere.
what point
That
do
is
they get their
important.
memory wiped, and then have enough time to get these memories developed in the for episode 4? Because it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, exactly. That's people try
It's like
to.
he didn't watch episode 4 before he made the new one. It's like he just started making. He's like, oh, I remember. It's my universe. I remember. It's like, did you go back and watch them? Because they don't have the memory of being their fathers at all. And what the fuck?
And how did they end up with Leia?
Seriously, it's all. Well,
And I know this has been a joke on the internet, but at some point Chewie will be like, "Hey, we know this guy."
right. I didn't even think about that part. Yes.
At some point, right? Because this is exactly what would have happened in a sane Star Wars universe. So Luke says he's going to go visit Yoda, right? And Chewie hears about this and goes, "Hey, Han, I know this Yoda dude. He's pretty crazy." But so much shit that is just left out.
I didn't even notice that. I never noticed that, like, Chewie had his memory wiped also.
Yeah.
It wasn't just the droids. Oh, that part was ridiculous. It does feel like George Lucas forgot to go back and watch the first movies. Like, he's like, no, I wrote them. I remember. It's like, no, you don't. You forgot some details that are fucking important.
Oh,
Now that we talk about it like that, that is what it feels like. It is. It does feel like he kind of forgot.
and just had to pigeonhole everything.
Yeah.
And so,
Yeah.
so I've been reading The Hero with a Thousand Faces, the Josh Campbell book that has pretty much, inspired Star Wars, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so it's very interesting learning about the hero's journey. But the original idea for Star Wars was actually make it about the droids, which would have been a really interesting thing, because there's this idea in literary circles called the Herald. And they're the person who sometimes is an important character, sometimes not, who changes the universe, who changes
Right.
the main character's world. And
He's
that's
always
what,
there, kind of in the background.
But if you think
Or-
about it, that's what R2D2 is. He's the herald. He's the one who changes Luke's world by bringing the message.
Mm-hmm.
And it's up to the hero to respond to the message and all that stuff. So, I don't know. And he wasn't that in the other ones. I don't know. It just bothers me.
Yeah, it does. I don't know. I've gone back and watched it, and it's even like where I went back as a kid. I was like, "That's the greatest lightsaber scene ever." You go back and watch it now, and you're like, "No, that's actually pretty dog shit." Like lightsaber scene.
You would still rather watch the one on in Bespin between Luke and Vader and Empire.
Yeah,
It's like that's the one you think of, or
Right, because those
underneath
people-
the stairs with that great score going, ah.
right. And with the I guess the people who did it were more like actual sword. I mean, not to say that it was actual sword fighters, because the guy who choreographed episode 1 was a great like sword fighter
Oh,
choreographer.
absolutely, yes.
But the choreographing style that they used had a lot of, flips and woo woo woo, and because of that, they had to leave safety margins that they didn't leave in the like episode what is it, 6? Right? The Return of the Jedi when they're
5, 6,
fighting.
yeah. Huh.
Right. So in that one, if that one stunt double didn't like put his thing up and block, the other one was just going to hit the other dude in the head. Like he would have gotten hit in the head, and that's why it's more realistic because it's like he actually blocks, but it is way slower and kind of more boring. I don't know. I just went back and watched it, and I'm like, oh, this doesn't make any sense. Like the pod racing doesn't make sense, and the betting, and Qui-Gon, the character itself, is just like, what the fuck are you? You're a horrible Jedi. Just so you know, you suck at this Jedi
You
thing.
suck at what you do, sir. Sorry, but you
And
suck.
I thought Obi-Wan was too weak to be one of the legendary 3 Jedi that survived the Holocaust. He was kind of a shitty guy.
Yeah, yeah, we could talk about this forever.
Yeah, that's not. You want to talk about something else?
Sure.
I got a new phone.
It's S6 Edge. Nice.
Sure did.
Did you
I will say one thing about it. It's easy as shit to drop.
It's slick. Just looks
Right,
like.
because as soon as your thumb rolls onto the smooth part, it wants to slide over because it's a curve, right?
Uh-huh.
So you actually only have this very thin part where you actually grab it. But I guess they dropped enough in building them. They put an edge to it. Like there's a real like you actually can sink your thumb into like the edge there.
Did you see the video of the people breaking walnuts with those things?
Wait, what?
Oh, I gotta find it. I think it was the S6, but there's this video from China of these people using a cell phone screen to crack walnuts and it didn't hurt the screen.
Wow. That's incredible.
There we go. Yeah, I found it. I'll send it to you.
Wow. It's amazing. It's slick. It's fast. It's whatever everybody talks about.
I love Samsung hardware. I do not like their version of Android. I cannot stand it.
Really? I can't stand my girlfriend's Google software.
See, I have an LG.
She has the G3 or the G4, whichever the
G3,
new.
yeah.
Yeah, I guess I got used to the Samsung, and it's just
Yeah.
one of those things. I'm like, it's not where it should be. Like, why is this here? Like, what?
Yeah.
This doesn't give me this option. Why isn't this option here? And then it's like, I don't need this option. Go away. Go away. I don't use you ever. It's because I'm not used to using those options and stuff.
I've had 2 Galaxies for a grand total of 32 days. I just can't do it. But I've had this LG forever now, and I dig it. So
Oh my god.
We watching this video?
Oh, you want to watch it, guy? My bad. Let's do it. You had 0?
Yep.
All right.
So there's
let's
2 Samsung edges, or is it one edge?
It's one edge and one flat.
And so they're
She's
putting
taking
the
the edge.
walnut on.
Yeah, she's taking a walnut and putting it on the flat, and then picking up the edge and beating the shit out of these walnuts. I will say they look fairly easy to crack, though, right?
Still, do you imagine 2?
Let's watch to the end to see if she flips over the edge. How much damage is done to it? Not much.
None.
Not much. Oh. Wow. Sweet. Good phones. If you ever need to open up some nuts and you ain't got nothing but 2 edges, that's a first world problem, but you can take care of it. It's just you, 2 edges, and some walnuts, I don't know what choices you made in your life, but if you have to, you can crack some nuts and still have your phones.
When with Windows 10 coming out, depending on how the new Windows flagships are, I'm going back to Windows.
I don't blame you.
I love the Windows phone.
You're talking about some really cool stuff with the Windows technology where you're going to be able to take like an Android app and just Windows will translate it for you.
Oh yeah, have you seen Continuum?
No.
So
Is that where like every program is going to work on every device?
No, but that will happen.
Yeah.
Continuum is you can get a dock if you want and use your phone as a computer. You plug it into it, you have a mouse and a keyboard and a monitor, and it'll become a full Windows 10 machine.
Say that again?
Okay, so you'll have your phone, right?
Yes.
You can plug it into a dock.
Okay.
And so if you want, and when you plug it in, I don't know if it's a dock or if it's just a cable or whatever, but you can
Right.
plug in a keyboard, a mouse, and a monitor, a full monitor, and it'll become a Windows 10 full machine.
Wow.
Yeah. So literally, if you're okay with a slower processor, your phone can be your only computer.
That's incredible.
It's sick stuff, man. I love it.
That is incredible. That's like some really slick stuff. How do you think it would work? Like if the
With
screen gets that much bigger, is it harder on the processor or the video card of your phone?
not really. It is a little bit, but it's not. I mean, it won't be able to do 4K.
Right, right.
It may not be able to do 1080p, but
Maybe 720.
it'll probably do 720, which for most people, actually, most laptop screens aren't even 720. They're 1366 by something.
Really?
Oh yeah. Uh, I guess that is 720. But yeah, so yeah, that's coming. I'm excited about that. And what Intel is talking about doing right now is insane. They're saying that next, either later this year or next year, they're gonna be able to put out an i5 that is so small and so energy efficient it can run a cell phone with normal battery life.
Wait. So what's the implication there? What's so impressive?
It's an i5, like you have in laptops, like that run full computers. i5 that
In your
is
phone?
in your phone.
And it's small enough to fit in the phone? Or would it make the
It's
phones big again?
no, it's small enough to fit in the phone and it's energy efficient to not change the battery life. It's like beast of a processor.
That's unbelievable.
They're talking like stuff.
Skynet shit.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's fantastic.
It's, I mentioned Skynet and he's like, oh yeah, yeah, it's fantastic. Did you hear his voice kind of went up a little? He got excited.
Oh yeah.
He's one of the robot overlord welcomers.
Hi guys, just don't kill me. Let me have the internet and some VR. We'll be okay.
I'll be a battery, right? Put me in that matrix where everything was okay. Don't put me in that shitty one. I'll accept this one.
I promise. I promise. You make me a billionaire, I will not question things.
Yeah. That was a great movie, The Matrix.
Oh, such a great movie. Another movie that hit just at the perfect time. Talk about two movies that hit about the perfect time. Because if I remember right, Fight Club and The Matrix were in the theaters
Yeah.
at the same time.
Wasn't it with Pulp Fiction and stuff too, though? Or am I wrong about that?
I think it was the same year.
Right.
But
It was just like there's like a year like '94 or whatever it is. It's like one of the
99.
most it's like one of the most insane years ever for yeah.
Yeah, it is one of them. So there's a thing in some movie dumb that 1984 was the greatest year of all time.
I just watched War Games.
That's one of them. So I'm going to rattle off some 1984 movies: The Terminator,
Okay.
Ghostbusters,
Awesome. Awesome.
Temple of Doom,
Great.
Gremlins, The Karate
Good.
Kid, Beverly
Okay.
Hills Cop, Police Academy,
Good.
Footloose, the original Nightmare
good.
on Elm Street,
Yeah.
Search for Spock,
Good.
The Neverending Story,
Good.
Dune, The Natural,
Good.
Purple
Good.
Rain. This is Spinal Tap.
Don't know.
Conan,
Awesome.
the original Conan the Destroyer movie.
Awesome. Awesome. Awesome.
Uh,
Awesome.
Yeah, I'm not even done yet. Like that's just like the big ones.
Okay, go to 99. Let's see what do we get out of 99. I'm interested to see like whether the top 10 or whatever out of 99 seem more impressive.
Ooh, it might. Okay, so here we go. The Matrix, Fight
Yes.
Club, American Beauty,
Holy shit.
Episode 1, The Green Mile,
Awesome.
The Sixth Sense,
Okay.
The Mummy,
What? That's pretty good.
Being John Malkovich,
Is that good?
Tarzan.
Never saw it.
It's good. It's an indie flick, but it's good.
Okay.
American Pie, Blair
Okay.
Witch Project,
Yeah.
Austin Powers,
Yes.
Sleepy Hollow, Toy Story 2, Annie, Office Space, Big Daddy, 10 Things I Hate About You. Yeah, 99 was a hell of a year for movies.
Yeah. Hell of a year.
Iron Giant, which is getting
Ooh, they're bringing that back. Did
They
you hear?
are bringing that back.
With new scenes.
South Park, She's All That, The Haunting, Man on the Moon, Boondock Saints, Dogma. Holy God Almighty.
Dogma.
Bowfinger, Virgin Suicides, Wild Wild West. That's funny. That's an
It's
inside
fun.
joke right
That's
here. Any
funny.
Given
That's
Sunday,
funny.
Bicentennial Man, Double Jeopardy.
Somebody gonna get slapped around here.
Yeah.
We'll slap somebody.
Have we told that story?
No, let's just leave it for a little while.
That story was so good. It's one of my favorite stories. Like every time I see Aaron, that comes up. Do you remember that?
Okay, you got to tell it now. You can't tease him that much. You got to tell him.
Okay, so we were going to we were
Okay, so
going
remember
to
the
see
year that
Wild
this
Wild
came
West.
out.
This was
So
1999.
Yeah, so Austin Powers has the whole thing where Dr. Evil is his son, and he's like, I got a whole bag of this is a preemptive you know? So just remember that.
So we were going to. Had we already seen Wild Wild West, or were we about to see it?
I can't remember. I know we were about to eat a triple cheeseburger, though, from Wendy's when they were offering that triple cheeseburger for the first time.
Uh-huh. Yeah, and it was in
Bam
Tomball,
on the
Texas. I don't even know if that theater or Wendy's is there anymore.
theater's there, high class now.
Oh, yeah?
Wendy's is a insurance company. Yeah, it's kind of gone.
Yeah, so when we're there, and my cousin Aaron starts getting into Ryan about something. I think it was something stupid, too.
I know, and I kept going and Aaron's like, he would be quiet for the first like twice that I did it, and then like the third time he's like, I'm still talking.
And Ryan just hauls off and slaps him. And I'm watching the girl behind the register, and her eyes get big and her mouth drops. I was like,
We're in the lines to a Wendy's, and I just straight up just haul back and just slap the shit out of him right across the lips, like across the cheek. And he just goes silent, and he just kind of looks at me like the whole place goes silent. Everybody quits talking. Yeah, I did slap him.
That was awesome.
Was it? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I
Fantastic.
thought it was a little rude. Now that I'm older, like that was kind of a dick.
That was kind of an asshole move on my part.
That was kind of an asshole there. Sorry, Aaron. It was funny as shit though, and that it is of legend proportion. People still talk about it, so you know.
It was worth it.
There's gotta be a victim,
And it's only funny till somebody gets hurt.
and it's hilarious.
Hilarious.
Man, my son turned 9 yesterday.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, or well, he actually turned 9 a week ago, but we gave him the birthday party yesterday. Just to give you a scale of how large the party was,
Uh-huh.
$300 on food. All of it was gone.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it was like 40 something hamburgers and like 18 hot dogs, and they all got eaten. We all swam in the pool, ate some homemade ice cream and some homemade cake. He got a computer to die for.
All right, what'd he get?
He got that parts list I sent you with the i9, the i5
Uh-huh.
4569K,
Right.
and then I got the ASRock or ASRock a Z97 unlocked motherboard, so you can overclock it, which I don't plan on doing, but it can be. He got a 1 terabyte, Seagate hard drive, just a basic hard drive. Samsung LG or Samsung optic drive, 8 gigabytes of RAM. We put it in a Corsair C70 military case, so it looks like an ammo supply box.
Nice.
Those kind of green with the handles on top. It's got reset button. Looks like it's got a little like thing you flip up like you're launching a missile, and then you hit the reset button. It's cool for kids.
So you're
Put
gonna
a
start
GTX
gaming on it when he goes to bed?
Yes, I put a GTX. I put a GTX 970 in it.
Oh, those are good cards.
Yeah, he got an what is the AOC? Like, how do you say that? Like the screen company? Anyway,
Yes, I
AOC.
just say
He got an
AOC,
AOC 23-inch IPS 1080p LED monitor.
That's a legit monitor, my friend.
It's a legit monitor. They had them on sales. I live near a Micro Center.
Oh, nice. Those
And I
can
got
be
some
awesome.
Fucking killer deals, dude. I got this machine built cheap
How
and
much?
didn't have to pay shipping. So
How much you get billed for?
the whole thing,
Whole
everything,
thing.
including
Kid
the
and
keyboard,
caboodle.
the screen,
Mhm.
everything. 1,400.
It's not bad. It's not bad
Yeah.
at all.
Yeah, but I mean, I upgraded a few little things, like the keyboard is a lit up keyboard with a mouse that's lit up, and getting the 23-inch instead of the 20-inch, and
Hmm.
getting in the C70 case instead of the small like micro case. I could have done it all for 1,000, but it was his birthday. And I was trying to make him feel special. I love my
And
kid.
you're gonna use it too. Let's be honest.
Yeah, a little bit, a little bit. It's gonna get used up a little bit.
Yeah, we're getting my wife into a nice keyboard here soon. If you've never used like a really high end keyboard, like a mechanical gaming keyboard, you don't know what you're missing.
Yeah, you don't really actually. It's incredible. It's the precision and the luxury of it is completely justifies the cost of them.
Yeah, for her birthday, it's I ordered this like a month ago, but it's coming in next week, I think. Evil Geniuses, which is one of the top Dota teams, they were running this special where it was a Razer Black Widow special edition keyboard, which is $100 by itself, $120 by itself. So this whole thing was $100. It's that a special edition gaming mouse, special edition mouse pad, which isn't that big of a deal,
Right.
and a an art print that one of the players made that's signed by the team. So that was part of her 30th birthday was that, but she'll be getting into that soon. And those man, if you just want to spoil yourself, Razor Black Widow, that's where you go.
I know you already bought one, so this is kind of I'm not trying to talk shit about what you just bought. But is there any concern that for you to do any of the fancy stuff that your keyboard will do, you have to log into their cloud-based service?
To be honest, I don't use it. I just
Okay, so you're
use the
never gonna do
heart.
it. Right.
I mean, I've used some of the macros before, but
But even like to change the colors of the LEDs, like if you have one
oh,
of
see,
those that's gonna.
the ones we have is single color.
Oh, okay, okay. Then there's no
So
issue
like I
then.
had just had the Black Widow Ultimate green letters, and hers is the Evil Genius
Right.
with the blue letters. So I don't have any of the chroma stuff. But the
That chroma
hard,
stuff is so awesome, though.
it is, but I don't know. I
Like
didn't
every time
feel
you push like a button, the that button and then the buttons around it kind of ripple out like water and change colors like in a rainbow of like 1,000 different colors. I was like, that's so awesome. That's like I'm like that's what the future should look
but you're
like.
never gonna see it while you're hitting it,
That's
you know.
true. That's true.
I love like if you're a gamer and you haven't invested in a good keyboard,
What are you doing with your life?
do it, do it. Granted, learning to type on one is a bitch. It is hard to learn to type on one because it's so precise. You
The
can't.
spacing can be a little weird.
Yeah, the space can be a little weird, but so most of us when we click on a normal pad keyboard,
Hmm.
registers is like 3 clicks on the high end ones
Right.
because they have a millisecond response time. So every millisecond you hold it is a letter.
Right. So you got to really just kind of
Oh,
click
but
it.
granted, once you get used to it, you fly. Like whenever I'm typing on it, I type so incredibly fast. It's the only like you can actually keep up with how fast I'm thinking.
Because it's reliable and
Oh,
stuff.
it's so good, so good. The Logitech one is also really good. I have the Razer. I love it, but so much recommends there.
Yeah. He got a hell of a rig. And he
And
got the screen to go with it. He wanted a dual screen. And I just couldn't justify the other $100 to put another 20-inch beside it. But maybe in a month or two or Christmas,
yeah,
maybe he'll get another
give us some
23-inch.
chores to do. Be like, hey, if you want another one, you
Right.
do this, 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 and this. Wouldn't be a bad
Yeah.
way to teach them. Work reward system.
Yeah. While upgrading the computer I use at night.
Right,
Awesome.
exactly.
This is how adults work. This is how we get shit done.
If only we knew as children.
Ha ha
Like
ha ha.
because now we're talking about this. Like I remember when my dad for us bought us, the extra RAM upgrade back in the early '90s. That was for us. That was not for us. That was for
What
him.
was it like? 1 megabyte to 8 megabytes or something?
4 to 8 megs.
4 to 8. You went from 4 to 8, and it was a big deal, right?
It was huge. Oh, it's
Yeah.
huge, huge, huge. And 4 megs costs as much as 8. No, costs as much as 16 gigs cost now.
Have you checked? Because RAM's gotten even cheaper in the last few months. Like you can get RAM stupid cheap, dude.
Well, at least the
I
RAM
got
I'm
eight.
using.
I got 8 GB for like $50.
I'm using some pretty high end RAM in my
What are you
rig.
using? You using
Uh,
DDR4?
5.
You're using DDR5?
I don't fuck around.
That's weird. What's your motherboard? What motherboard do you have then?
I have a pretty high end Asus.
It's like a 290 pin or something.
Yeah,
Well, that's awesome. How many gigs do you have?
16 right now.
Why do you feel like you need 16? I mean, that's a sweet spot to be at right now, but do you run a bunch of open applications?
It's part of it's
The
just
average game only uses about 3 to 4.
part of it's habit.
It's like more RAM is better.
Well, that's kind of it. But
It's always been that way, yeah.
um, especially on the computer I'm using right now, the 16 gigs of RAM has been a big deal for me. So it would be nice, and plus we also do have a lot of redundant tasks, which pulls up RAM. Plus, I
Right.
just like it. It's
Hey?
just one of those things for me. I want 32 gigs of RAM, so it'll never ever be slow ever.
Yeah, you can open 50 tabs and it runs all 50 tabs.
Or because eventually I'm gonna start broadcasting on Twitch again using my rig, and that eats up a shit ton of RAM and a
Yes, it
shit ton,
does.
shit
Fuck,
ton
man,
of
it'll
process.
crush it. And the processing, yeah,
Mhm.
that's one of the few reasons I want my rig that I build to be an i7. Is I just want to be able to run my game at 1080p and still be able to broadcast at 720. You know, and you need at least, an i7 helps a lot with that with the multi-threading, or buying one of the high-end AMD
I would
process.
suggest the AMD just because it's cheaper,
Yeah,
and
there's just
they're
a few.
nice.
There's just a few things about the Intels that are nice.
I mean,
There's a luxury that you pay for there.
there is a luxury you pay for, but you can spend that money somewhere else and get as good a 95% as good performance out of your processor, but still have more RAM or a
Right.
better motherboard or a better graphics card.
Yeah, there's always these different camps. Like it's a clear cut on the internet. Like
I wanted an Intel, but I could afford an AMD. Is what what happened with me because I didn't with my rig. I wanted to spend $1,000. That's what I
period.
wanted to spend 1,000.
Right?
I think it ended up being 1,100. But
Isn't it always that way?
I was within
Always.
$100. That's pretty good.
Not bad.
But to get the graphics card I wanted, I had to go with the AMD, which is this 8-core, 4.6 gigahertz.
Yeah, that's a real processor.
And to get something equivalent for an i7, I had to spend like 350, and I got mine for
Yes.
180.
Yes,
You know,
that is
so
true.
that's
That is true. At the very high end, getting someone, especially when it comes to the processors.
now if I could, if I had the money to drop, 700 on those super high end i7 Haswells,
Those are so slick.
they are, and I would
They're
if I
so
could.
sexy.
But
Oh, I want that, and then I want one of those like $400 motherboards.
oh,
It's got like 16 PCI slot or like 16 SATA slots and
Mhm.
like 30 like PCI slots. It's like what do you like everything, all of them. Just I need like 90 gigs of RAM and I need 4 Titans SLI'd. God, I wish we could do that.
only
Huh?
wants one Titan at this point.
The Titan X.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if it was my choice, I would. I guess the Titans are a little better because of some of the broadcasting applications and video editing that they can do. But for as far as gaming goes, man, just let me SLI two of the 980 Ti's.
Oh yeah, those are good too.
You'd SLI those, man. You're running like two 4K screens, no problem. Or the triple monitor setup, the Holy Grail.
Oh, I run a triple at work.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, have you played like Battlefield on it and like actually stretch the
could-
resolution?
It couldn't do all three.
Oh well, that's what I'm talking about. Being able to like stretch the resolution where it's 40,000 by 1080 or whatever it is. It's this massive amount of resolution.
Yeah. So the one I have in my rig right now is a Sapphire Vapor X Radeon R9, 2 gig, 56 bit GDDR5 PCI. Yeah,
You're gonna
it's a
you're gonna SLI
solid.
that
Yeah, I'm gonna. It's I guess I think it's technically it's Crossfire,
Crossfire,
whatever.
whatever, same shit. You're gonna
But
tandem your video cards.
yeah, so I'm looking forward to that.
Ah, yeah, hell yeah.
And you know, what I'm gonna play on it old school video games. My wife can play the new shit. I'm just gonna play like games from 1987.
At least she'll be able to run her stupid pirate game at 1080,
Oh, Assassin's Creed.
1080p at 60 frames.
Yeah, yeah,
There's no reason to run past 60 frames unless you have a monitor that can handle it. I didn't know that.
yeah. No, no,
If
yeah,
your
yeah.
monitor refreshes at 60 hertz, then you have no reason to go past that.
Well, ours is 240, so
Holy shit.
yeah. Well, that's our TV.
Oh, wow.
We have a 240. We have a 60-inch LG smart TV, 3D TV with a 240 refresh rate.
There's some irony that you have a 3D TV.
There's a reason we did that. A, because the more complex the TV, the better processor it has to have. So even if you don't use the 3D, it has to be beefy enough to handle it. So it runs everything else super quick. And second, we just got a hell of a deal on
Good.
it.
Are you sure you're not like a little bit of a Jew?
I love getting deals, man. I don't know.
You're a deal. You're a guy. You love money, man.
It was an $1,800 TV we got for $1,100.
Yeah, what's up?
Yeah,
What's up?
and it's got the IPS stuff in it, so it realizes.
Interplane switching.
Uh huh.
Yeah, that stuff's.
So it knows when it's hooked into a computer, and it will adjust itself. And what's also really nice about the new TVs is they have different video settings for every input. So HDMI 1, you can have it set up for video games, but HDMI 2 can be movies. So you don't have to have like one
Yeah.
setting across. It's super nice. And the smart TV part of it is
Is
amazing.
awesome.
It's quick.
Yeah,
Like
it's awesome.
it's as quick as using an Xbox. Like
It's like built-in Roku.
yeah, it's a built-in Roku is what it is. I love it. It's one of the better things we've bought. And
Yeah, it's like what?
now I'm just like an LG guy. I'm like, yeah, get an LG TV if you can. They're great.
LGs are slick, man. Almost everything they build is slick.
Hmm.
Samsung builds good shit too, though.
Samsung does build very good shit.
Yeah.
I don't know about LG monitors because I've never actually bought one of their monitors, but their TVs are pretty good.
Yeah, I haven't bought one of those monitors either. I have. Whew, when I was building mine on Part Picker, I was like $2,500, and I wasn't done. I was like, I'm just gonna stop building my dream rig. I'm done for a little bit.
See, eventually, I want to get one of those ultra, like 27-inch ultra wides. Have you seen those?
Those 29-inch LG curved ultra wide
Yeah.
1440 by it's like 3440 or something
It's
by 1440.
4K, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's 4K,
so
but the big number that shows you the width, like how many are wide, is like ridiculously large.
You're right.
It's like 34,000 or something.
Like if
and
I had
then-
an ultra wide, I probably wouldn't need 3 monitors. Maybe just 2. Maybe just 2. Just stack them.
I still think you need 3. And you need a chair that like got hydraulics, and you turn into like like an evil hacker dude, because it would go all the way around you if you had 3.
It would.
How epic would that be? Like it'd be like this full like C shape where you can churn and you can drag stuff across and move. That'd be cool, dude.
No, see what you need. You need 9.
Uh-huh.
You need 9 of them.
Now we're talking.
So you got
Now
3
we're
tall and 3 wide, and you just
What?
IMAX into that shit.
We only need 4 Titan X's for this. Now we're getting into actually needing those $50,000 rigs people build.
Oh, yeah.
The ultimate gaming rigs. Some of those monitors that they're building now could probably like really push them. If you wanted to run like a triple or a 6-screen setup on a 2 Titans, you'd probably need 2 Titans to do it.
Probably. I've heard that if you're just running one monitor, that the graphics card you buy, like the high-end graphics card you buy today, will still run just about everything 10 years from now.
Really, I heard like 5, but yeah, sure.
Yeah, so the graphics card technology has been pushed so far out ahead of everything else that like the engines can't touch it. So in some respects, like buying that $800 graphics card, unless you're really doing it for longevity's sake, is a waste of money.
At what point is it a waste? Is like the 970 where you need to be at, or the 980?
Well, the thing is like are you planning on keeping it? Because if you're planning on keeping it for 5+ years, then yeah, it's
Yes,
not that
I build like 5-year rigs.
right.
Yeah.
Then yeah, it's totally worth the money. But some nerds in general are collectors, and we just want the newest and the greatest. And so people are just keep spending all this money on graphics cards.
When it comes to computers, I don't have that drive so much.
As long as it runs what I want to run, and I
Yeah.
don't, and I never feel the computer,
Right. Yeah.
then I'm fine.
I didn't feel like replacing my rig until GTA 5 came out. And it was the first game where the computer really struggled. And I had to turn the graphics down to a point where it was no longer enjoyable. I was like, this looks kind of shitty. And it's like, oh, and I've seen screenshots of what it's supposed to look like, and I'm like, okay. Forever, my computer was always near the screenshots, near 40 to 60 frames a second. So it's like I'm close to what. I mean, I don't feel limited by my computer when it comes to playing games, but when everything's blurry, when you're looking at stuff, it's just like I don't want to play this. So it's like now it's time to upgrade.
Now it's
I want to be able to play GTA 5 at 1440.
right.
So I
Yeah.
feel like a 980 is where I want to be at.
Yeah, we're
A single 980. I don't like SLI and crossfire because you give up some of the RAM.
yeah, but I'd have to figure out somewhere to sell my graphics
Yeah.
card, and it's just so much easier just to do it this way.
Yes, I agree. I agree.
But if I had more money at the time, I would have spent more, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Sure. Sure. Anyway, what else can we talk about, Jacob?
We want to talk about mining asteroids?
Let's do it.
All right, so there's these companies. Okay, well, first off, there's a bill in Congress, and I don't
Did
know
it pass?
if I think it's in
There was a conversation a part of. I thought they passed this, where they said it was okay. Yeah, like if anything that you go get out of space, it's yours.
the Space Act bill, if passed.
If passed, it didn't pass. What's the date?
It's in committee right now, so
Okay, okay.
this could be next year, a couple of years. Will allow private companies to mine asteroids and sell whatever they dig up.
Yeah.
So basically, if you get an asteroid, it's yours.
How much is there any mention in that article about how much an asteroid could be valued for?
They're saying the market could be $100 trillion.
When you say that, explain that in layman's terms. What does the market mean? Like the whole market ever until it's completely used up?
That is
Or
the
like a
current
year?
estimate.
A year? Like we would get
No,
$100 trillion
forever.
worth? How much oil value has been there? How much value in oil has been created? Because it seems to me like the asteroids would be worth a whole lot more than the oil we've burned.
Well, right now, the oil is what we use. So, it's one of those things where maybe we find a new energy source and the price of that goes up significantly. But right now,
Right.
since we don't know what it is, that's what they're estimating it's worth is $100 trillion. But I Googled this before the podcast. Do you know how much money is on the face of the planet right now?
In what way do you mean?
Like,
Like what is the GDP of the Earth?
yeah. I think it's what it was. Hold on. Let me read.
Yes. It's 500 trillion. No, more like 30 trillion. I'm just going to keep guessing until you say yes. 27 trillion.
60 to 75 trillion.
Right.
It includes institutional money market funds, long-term deposits, and other stuff rich people possess that somehow can be spent. So it's basically that is the value of the entire world is 75-ish trillion dollars, at least in cash money.
Hmm.
So we're
We're
talking,
talking about something that's worth the whole value of the planet, pretty much.
and then some.
Yeah, there's quite a bit there. Then
There's
you could
quite
be
a
all
bit
right. You
there.
can make some money.
And what's crazy is like these companies already exist, like that are working on technology.
What are there like VC, like venture capitalist investment firms, like working
Richard
on
Branson, the Virgin guy.
the billionaire?
He's heading one of them. Like I actually
Wow.
applied to one of them this week because I was like, that's just too cool to not talk about, like to not get in.
That would be cool.
I guess one of those things that you may never see in your lifetime. But what was that company that they landed something on a comet or an asteroid that was passing by, and it was a big
Yeah,
deal?
just recently. Like, that was
Yeah.
last year. That was a big deal. We can get stuff there, and we can land on them. Did you hear that thing? The battery like corroded or whatever,
Uh,
and it short circuited straight to the solar panels. So the battery's corroded, causing a straight path from the solar panels to the board or whatever. And it got like rotated enough or got close enough to the sun that it just came back to life for like a few days. And they got to do a few experiments with it just recently. It was like a few months ago or something. Yeah.
huh. That's crazy.
They were like, "Holy shit, it's talking to us!" You know? Could you be that one guy in the operating room going, "What is this? What? What? Oh my god! Get
We
the
should,
guy on the
call
phone!"
the phone with like,
Yeah.
dudes. It's like that
Something
guy in
happened.
Independence Day who like
Yeah.
hears the crrr for the first time.
Right. Or the guy who was it Independence Day? I thought it was an Independence Day. It was some guy that found it with his telescope in his backyard. And he's
That's
calling it. And he's like, "Can I name it after my wife?" Oh no, that's Deep Impact or something.
Deep Impact. Yeah, it's Deep Impact.
Or
Or was it Armageddon? It was one of the two.
Yeah, it's Armageddon. Oh, and she's that. So he's like, "Yeah, because she's a vicious bitch, and nobody will survive her wrath or whatever." And she's like, "Fuck you, Larry!" and throws the thing at him. That was a great scene.
That's a
No,
that's
it's
an
not. Don't say it.
underrated movie.
It's not.
It's not a good movie. It's just fun. Like it's one of those movies.
a blast.
It is fun to watch.
That's a great summer flick. Yeah, if it came out today in like theaters, I'd probably still go watch it and be like, "Yeah, it was at least fun.
Oh yeah,
It was
absolutely.
ridiculous, but it was a good time."
Man, maybe I should
And
get
Liv
that.
Tyler or whatever her name is so goddamn hot in that movie.
She's gorgeous.
In that movie particularly, she is rocking it, dude. Ugh. Lucky Affleck.
Oh yeah, him and his wife just split up. Ooh, Hollywood news. Did it
Who are you?
for.
I don't even know you.
Hey man, I went to the supermarket today, so you know I caught up on my celebrity
man.
gossip. Let's
Not
just
my
be.
fault. It was just there.
Let's just there. I don't always care about celebrities, but when I do, I'm always in line at the grocery store.
That makes sense.
Well, that didn't last
The
as
other
long
thing
as
we
I
were going
hoped.
to talk about. You mentioned something else earlier. What was it?
So, you ready for the Uber of weed?
Really?
Yeah, pop box. Well, actually, in places where they have it, there's actually an Uber for weed that'll deliver to your door.
I've heard of someone that like LA Speedweed will deliver. How cool is that? Yeah, we're moving into the future, dude. It's a really weird thing that pot's starting to be like they talk about it all over the place. All these states are introducing bills and, you know, talking about decriminalizing here and legalizing there, and it's just like, is it really happening? Are we really going to see a shift in marijuana policy?
For a chunk of the country, yes.
Really?
At least for a while. I don't know if it'll stick, but at least for a while, yeah, there's going to be a major shift.
What could they do to change that? Like once something gets kind of its roots in and starts having some money that it can move with.
You just decriminalize it. It makes it hard to decriminalize, but we criminalize and decriminalize things all the time. Like the assault rifle ban during the 90s, which was
Right.
there for like 10 years. I mean, it happens all the time. Or you regulate it into oblivion, which is what people do now. They really don't legalize things; they just regulate it so much you can't
Just
make.
tax the shit out of it until
Yeah.
you can't. Yeah.
I keep telling my wife because she's a chemist, all that stuff. I'm like, find a job out in Colorado Springs. We'll go. I'll quit my job. Get
Yeah,
a job.
Denver.
We'll move.
Denver.
I think I'd rather live in Colorado Springs. A little smaller town, still gorgeous.
Still,
Just
almost anywhere in
gorgeous.
Colorado,
Oh, yeah.
you're doing okay.
You know,
Especially
it's
if
like,
you're in the Rockies. You'll be able to go skiing all the time and mountain biking in the summer.
you know,
They also have those little those little like gully paths made out of metal, and you ride like skateboard bobsleds down, and you can like die on them and shit. Dude, that's totally me and you. That would be a blast.
at this point in our life, we'd be like, we just like sit outside, go, tomorrow.
Good Could be. Could be. I know we would hit the snowboard up.
Oh yeah,
I know me and
that's
you would be like that on the gondola.
that's what
We're
I'm
like, this
looking.
is an awesome way to go to the top of the mountain, if you know what I mean.
Maybe not. Maybe not the smoking part, but the snowboarding part. Something I'm looking forward to this winter because there are some decent hills around here.
Yeah, up there in Pittsburgh.
Yeah,
Like,
about an hour from here. You know.
fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah, they're like
Hey,
what?
we're just mentioning vacations and we're talking about it. It just came to mind. Houston's Comic Con. Houston's doing a Comic Con,
Is it
like Comic Con at the South.
is it Wizard World or
I don't know, but I think you need to come down to it, and we need to put it on the podcast. Maybe.
maybe? Let me
I'm
see.
just throwing it out there.
Space City Comic. Oh, it's too soon. It's in 2 weeks.
Holy shit! Never mind.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll go.
But it's their own. You should. You should go for like a day. Like, let- let's see. General admission. If you go Friday, it's $30. Saturday, it's 40, and Sunday, it's 30.
Not bad. Maybe a Sunday afternoon with the kids could be
Yeah,
fun.
and the kids are. I would say if you can take a day off, it'd probably be easier to go on a Friday. Just
Yeah.
knowing how cons tend to go, you would get
Right.
more enjoyment out of it. Yeah. Oh yeah. There's Wizard World is coming here in September, and I'm
Cool.
hoping to go to that. Sort of like a traveling road show of Comic Con. Like it's so they have Wizard Worlds all over the country, and they just move from city to city.
Yeah, there's got to be some money in that.
Oh yeah. Oh, it's huge. There's a book I picked up at last year's Comic Con. It's all about the business of Comic Cons. It's
Mm,
really interesting stuff about how just like expensive it is, and like I was looking at Wizard World's financials, and their operating revenue has tripled in a year. Like how much money they're bringing
yeah.
in is yeah, it's getting big time. The nerds have taken over the world.
Isn't that one of those I Fight Dragon songs?
The geeks will inherit the earth. Yes.
Geeks will inherit the earth. That's a good song.
And we're here, man. The
Yep.
most important movies are nerd movies. They're about superheroes and men in capes and men not ironically in capes. Well, at least maybe on DC. But Marvel, man, they don't care. They'll be as silly as they want. Have you seen Guardians of the Galaxy?
No,
Watch it. It is.
is it good?
Oh, it's hilarious. It is
Is
really
it?
good, but it's Chris Pratt being Chris Pratt, man. Just like all over the
Oh,
place.
I didn't know Chris Pratt was in it.
Oh, he's the lead character.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fun.
Oh, it's hilarious, dude. And that's the thing that like I like Marvel over DC is DC is still in that Nolan Batman blah, 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 blah,
Hmm.
and Marvel's like screw it, we're gonna have fun. I mean, for God's sake, they're doing Ant-Man. Ant-Man is the next big Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's kind
I
of fail.
know shit about it. You know how much I know about Ant-Man? I know he turns into an ant-sized guy. That's about it. But apparently it's supposed to be a straight heist movie.
I'm not interested in.
I really
I
wasn't
mean,
interested in Guardians, but God, that turned out
it's
to be
gonna
awesome.
they're gonna have to be some like epic reviews for that movie. That
You
is not a movie I'm gonna go see opening weekend. Like it's gonna have to build on its own momentum.
but you should definitely watch Guardians. It's
All right,
hilarious.
all right.
It's
I should.
hilarious. God, it's
I got
just-
a anime you should watch.
Oh yeah, what's that?
Inuyasha. It's on Netflix.
Ooh,
The first 2 seasons.
Okay.
Epic show. Epic. It's one of those shows at the end of season 2. You're like, it feels like it's almost over. It feels like you've been watching this series for 7 seasons, and it's like, oh, what's gonna happen? And then my mom's like, there's like 11 seasons of this, and I'm like, wait, what? Because it already feels like the end. It's so friggin' epic. She's like, it only gets crazier. Watch this. My mom, 50-year-old, my mom, a 50-year-old white female, has watched every Inuyasha. That's how good it is.
Is it one of those things where you're just like it's gonna get too much? Where it's
Yes.
just like so much drama, you're just like, oh God.
Not really drama, just
It's so
Epicness.
intense.
action and just and so much like betrayal and intrigue and layers and layers and layers and it's like Oh, and apparently you don't know what's actually happening until the last episode. You're like, oh, the whole fucking time. Oh, it's just like your mind just starts melting and exploding, and yeah, it's supposed to be one of those kind of shows. And
Interesting.
it's one of those epic, Japanese anime where it has like 400 episodes. So
Good times, good times. I'll have to check that out. This is completely opposite of what you're talking about. We've been watching Frasier. And that show is hilarious. I dig it.
I saw a thread on the internet talking about what was the best bad guy that actually ended up being like who ended up being the most likable bad guy.
Okay.
And one of the strongest arguments was Frasier. Because Frasier introduction in Cheers was an obstacle for Sam to overcome.
Right.
He was a bad guy in Cheers. And ended up becoming a spin-off, was almost more successful than the show he came from.
I think Frasier lasted longer than Cheers did.
I think it did. That's why I said that. I don't know if it was more successful because Cheers is more of a cult classic than Frasier is.
Right.
Like, I don't know anybody who watched Frasier for how long it was on TV. You know what I mean? It's like nobody ever really watched that show. I mean, everybody's seen it, but who really watched it? Like, why was it on for 11 years or whatever it was?
That's pretty good.
It
was obviously
really
had
good. It had a weird pacing and a weird.
It does have a weird pacing.
It's so kind of slow and subtle and kind of quiet. It's just weird.
Cheers was
so
275 episodes, and Frasier was 264.
Ha 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 ha. So Cheers wins.
Yes,
Cheers
barely
wins.
by 11 episodes.
Yeah, they probably both got into syndication and called it quits.
Still,
Hey,
I mean, could you imagine?
I can't make it any farther. I got to go to the restroom. So play these people a song or,
Okay.
do some advertising or something. I don't know. I'll be right back.
Okay, we'll play you a song as soon as I can get it up and queued. From, let's see. I don't know. No one ever emails me, so I don't know what you like on the Super Nerd Text. I know you're out there. I can see you downloading it. How about we go with... Screw it, one more episode. It's my favorite. You get to listen to it again, since you won't email me.
There's a tendency to lose yourself inside a show. How it happens, yeah, nobody knows. Like a lever flips, and then all the world it disappears.
And our good friend is
And
back.
there's more to watch, it
yeah.
seems, every year.
Oi. Sorry, gentlemen.
But let's just talk about how awesome Kelsey Grammer is at this point. So, 262 episodes for Frasier, right?
Okay.
And then just gotta find. Oh, come on! Did I click the wrong button? Watch me click. I did.
Kelsey
click.
Grammer is the lead character from Frasier, right?
Correct.
He is Frasier.
He is Frasier. So, 200. Come on, find it.
Come on, Jacob. We're all listening.
I know. Son of a
Oh my
bitch.
god.
It is. And 203 episodes of Cheers.
Damn, I didn't realize he was such an integral part of Cheers.
Yeah, huge.
He was in Cheers a lot.
Which was probably one reason why Frasier was so popular, because he was such a big deal. And this is also something you never see anymore, like these big grand spinoffs. It actually used to happen quite a bit.
That is true. That is true. Like Lizzie or Izzy and Squiggy or whatever, or what was that show? It ended up being a spin-off of Happy Times or Happy Days. What was that show? Happy Days?
Happy Days.
Like that show had like 4 spin-offs.
Yeah,
Like they had shows that had spin-offs of those shows.
Stupid Rolling Stones being stupid.
Who?
Oh, it was
I was like the Rolling Stones.
Torchwood.
Come on, the magazine.
Yeah, and then he was Beast in the original X-Men movies. Kelsey Grammer was. So the Jeffersons
That's
was
right. He was, and he did a pretty good job with it.
was
Actually,
awesome. Laverne and
Yeah.
Shirley That's the one you're thinking of, Laverne and Shirley.
Laverne and Shirley is a spinoff of Happy Days,
So, yes.
and I think the Iggy and Squiggy show is a spinoff of that.
Yep.
Yep, it's one of those where they have spinoffs off of spinoffs.
Let's see. And the number one, according to Rolling Stone, the number one best spinoff is Frasier.
Really? Okay, I'm not going to argue with that because I don't know spinoffs very well.
But it's all on Netflix. You should watch it if you have the time. If you have 264 episodes in you, you should watch it.
I'm still working through MASH.
So good.
I'm doing the actual like episode 1 through episode 500 or whatever it is.
Yeah, that show's crazy.
It's a good show.
It's a fantastic show.
That's one of those shows that inspired its own spin-off. Trapper John gets his own show.
That's right, he does. I don't think it did very well.
Right, but I mean, it is one of those where he did. Like, he gets his own show. Like, it's that's why he leaves the MASH show.
Right.
Which I think is, like, one of the greatest tragedies of MASH. I think Trapper is, like, the perfect sidekick for Hawkeye.
256 episodes in MASH.
That's how many they get?
Mm-hmm. 256.
Yeah, see, there's something special about that 256, 255 region.
And there's no telling how many of those are like long, hour longs and
Right.
specials and stuff. Oh, so good. No, TV shows never like now you're getting those TV shows that are like 10 episodes, 13 episode seasons.
Yeah, and they only last like 5 seasons. Like Breaking Bad didn't last forever.
6 seasons, I think, 5, 6 seasons.
Yeah, and the show's already like completely has the complete concept of the show is already made before it starts. Like they're telling a complete story from beginning to end, which I think is interesting. They used to make shows that were really open ended, like Home Improvement or
A lot
What
of
was
them.
it?
Well, Star
A lot of
Trek's that
shows.
way, Monster of the Week kind of shows.
yeah. I find that I actually really enjoy Monster of the Week kind of shows, though.
Oh, they're fun. People forget that TV is supposed to be fun.
Yeah, I enjoy Doctor Who most when I'm watching the Monster of the Week episodes.
The ones that they're just
That
for
don't
fun.
matter. Those are my favorite.
He's riding the dinosaur through the space station.
Now you're talking about Dresden.
No, there's an episode of Doctor Who where he rides a dinosaur.
They got it from Dresden.
Probably so.
That's one of the most epic scenes in any like story I've ever. I was
Yes,
like,
when
holy
he's
shit!
riding the T-Rex.
And he
Spoiler
kind
alert,
of put it
spoiler
all
alert.
together. Yeah, you kind of put it all together as it's happening. You're like, oh, I know what he's gonna do. And then when he does it, it's still badass. You're like, yeah, it's still badass. And then the writer even surprises you with stuff that you wouldn't have thought of. You're like, oh yeah, I like how he added some personality to the T-Rex. And stuff.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was fun.
Love it. We're getting about that time, and I could probably use a drink and a break. So I don't know.
We're gonna call it?
We might as well. It's been
All
a
right.
good hour and 20 minutes, and
It's good enough.
Yeah,
I wanted to make sure that we gave them, some of their money's worth this week because last
Absolutely.
week I had to cut it short.
yeah, and I
Apologies.
missed the Super Nerd Sixer this week. That's also my bad.
Oh no.
Yeah, I just
No.
with everything that's been going on between our other stuff and life, I got to Thursday and realized I had no idea what I was going to play, and I wasn't going to. I actually had a couple of ideas. I was like, no, I'm not going to put shit out there. It's one of those things I do pride myself on in this other podcast endeavor is you're going to get 6 good songs that work
This podcast,
together.
you might get complete shit. You might get an hour and a half of shit you don't want to listen to, but the other one, that shit's good. He can guarantee you that.
And I guarantee it. So I'm sorry I missed it. It was just a rough week last week, just in general. So, but from all of us at the restaurant at the end of the universe, where I'm sure we're going to be eating some pan-galactic gargle blaster encrusted something or other that's going to make us feel like we're punching our brain out with a brick.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming to the 42 podcast.
Bye.